Hi guys, I'm Patrick, and I know what you're thinking. A flowering shrub right here? That'll look so nice. And you're right. Welcome back to my Plant Something Sunday series. And this is Prudence, as some of you know. She will be supervising today's Plant Something Sunday. Today I am planting a minor Black Weigela, and it's probably pronounced something like Weigela or Wigla. I'm not quite sure. But it is a beautiful purple-green foliage that grows about 2 by 2 at full maturity, and when it blooms it has just a beautiful show that looks like this. And as you can sort of see from the mulch line over here, it's a few feet away from our hardy mimosa tree that we planted a couple weeks back, which some of the lilies are starting to die down as it's past their season, but the heucheras are establishing very nicely, and I look forward to showing you guys a full update in a couple of weeks. And as I think about this space as it's coming to life, this new garden bed, as we pop things in just week by week, one by one, I'm always thinking about my pollinators, right? So as you can see, I have one of my hives going back there with its other super that's building up their winter storage. But then my overall apiary is just right over there. And I try to make it easy for them. Pack things in that are beautiful, that they can actually harvest their own pollen and nectar from. So the closer things are, the easier it is on them, the more they can build up their reserves and be a strong hive, and also produce a byproduct when I collect honey from them and we share together. Maybe not sharing, but there's a symbiotic relationship happening right here between my bees and our family, and I want to make sure that that keeps going strong. So it's a beautiful overcast day. The wind's a little blustery from time to time, but it's a perfect kind of day for planting. So let's get to work. All right, so my supervisor's manager is here, also known as Rupert. All right, so let's just talk about what I did. As some of you know from a couple weeks ago, I already forgot something that I was supposed to keep in mind, was that this particular area has gravel that's compacted down the first couple inches of this little space, and it seems to start from a little bit over here through, well, where the mimosa tree was planted, and I forgot about it. So you could see me in the beginning where I could not break the surface of the ground, and I actually picked out that rod that I found in my first garden video do-over or makeover, and I just drove that into the ground a couple times, sort of with the idea of how you aerate the soil in your lawn, and it was really beneficial in breaking up those first couple inches of compacted gravel. It was much easier to dig out. And then I dug out a little further down because I knew I had some very determined, unwanted volunteer plants in the area where I, as you saw, just tossed them in the bottom of where I was planting to put that nutrients back in the soil, even though I'm already using biotone, which sort of encourages and amends for the same idea. Outside of, stimulating healthy root growth and establishment, I then filled it in with less gravel and tried to keep most of the gravel to the surface area because eventually I'm going to scrape this out. And as I've mentioned also before, when you're planting in a permanent area, gravel can sort of work with you if you're not planning on disturbing or moving things around a lot. Obviously, when I think about this garden space and I think about amending the soil or putting in annuals maybe up front here, that's something I'm going to want to make sure I remove the gravel permanently so it's much easier to work with on a regular basis. And then I just went back to my preferred method of weed suppressant and moisture control, which is just putting down a little bit of cardboard and then mulch. And as some of you might not know, I like to use cardboard because it helps to drown out the light, not needing as much mulch, but the air pockets encourage a lot of air to help with decomposition and good bacteria, as well as just creating pathways for some of our decomposition encouraging insects like worms and, oh, it looks like the CEO has arrived, Maybelline. So what was I talking about? Oh, the decomposition bugs like scavenger beetles and roly-polies, which are known as what, pill bugs or something. Anyway, I sort of use cardboard as my preferred method with working with spaces because eventually as it breaks down, I like the idea that I can always reach in easier to get my hands directly into the ground rather than having to push things away, whether it's gravel or stone or bark chips, mulch, whatever, and then cut through landscape fabric, which then essentially ruins that area because it then creates these new spaces for weeds to grow anyway. I like just drowning things out, and it helps to get a head start and then helps you maintain the space in a little bit more sustainable type of way. So by planting this little flowering shrub, I'm beginning to really see this garden space sort of come together with some structure. I'm already envisioning how I want to plan out the design of it with having multiple viewpoints depending on which side of the garden bed you're looking at. And I'm really excited about this space that I originally didn't have a whole lot of thought about. It just shows you that 1 week at a time, one plant at a time, you can really change your perspective on what you're looking at. Let me know in the comments down below what you're planting this weekend. I hope you've been botanically inspired. Remember to grow from where you're planted, and I'll share more with you soon. Tschüss!